20 years from now, 30 years from now, there's no guarantee that the American cowboy will be in America. How do we then keep an industry that's been historically a good steward of the land and providing a better, healthier outcome for all of us in business in the United States, and that's through the power of technology.
I'm a rancher in South Texas. Both sides of my family have been ranching for a long time. So my mother's family, since 1876, Beggs Cattle Company, North and West Texas. And then my dad's family, King Ranch, since 1853. We're here today on Los Hermanos Ranch, which my grandfather purchased in 1967. We're deeply connected to these lands. When people talk about an operation you're involved with, when you're looking at it from a generational aspect, we don't look at 5 or 10-year decisions, we look at 100-year decisions. We look at what's best for the future of these lands, what's best for these animals that live in these lands. It's not a role that you take lightly because you're part of a much longer, much bigger operation than yourself.
We're the one industry that's feeding the world, literally the entire world. What, 2% of the population is feeding 98%? You know, if you look back 75 years ago, 1950, for example, the percentage of people that were involved in production agriculture was so much higher than it is now. If we don't grow the food for the United States, for the world, nobody else is. If the ag industry fell off the face of the earth tomorrow, everybody's dead in a couple of weeks.
I'm a CEO and co-founder of a company called Frontiers Market, where we apply artificial intelligence to weigh, track, and value cattle to help basically ranchers get a leg up. For every $1 of beef you get at the store, 37 cents goes to the rancher. The other 62 to 63 cents goes to the big 4 packers. So the average ranching operation on the producer side is about 50 head. 37 cents goes to that person that's raising that baby calf in pasture and then into the feed yard, to eventually then that 62 cents goes to the packer, which they only hold the animal for a week at a time before they're processed, packaged, and then sent to the retailer. You know, hundreds and thousands of these operations on the slaughter side basically consolidated into one giant group, which own 87% of the market, and that's the big 4, where they create then downward pressures and forces in the market to then negotiate contracts and to be able to then command prices because they are the end result of the kill. How do you create more competition at that level?
It is unfair because the people who are making the most money aren't the people who are putting as much at risk. They're not taking care of the animals, they're not taking care of the water supply. If there is a drought, they're not the people who are being impacted the most, but yet they're the people who are profiting from it the most. It's unreasonable. The people who are actually producing it should be the people who should be benefiting from that, and technology can help drive more profits for that side of the industry.
So like a good rancher or cowboy, when they go out there in pasture and look at their animals, they can normally eyeball a good weight, the breed, the value of the animal, the health of the animal. You know, 30 plus years of ranching will do that for you. We've taken that same kind of information, and basically when you use our product, you take a simple picture and get those exact same value and attributes. And the first one we went after was weight. It's the hardest thing to do, but it's the most critical for any operation. Weight's attached to health. Today, antibiotics are administered based on an eyeball guess, but with Frontiers, you can snap a photo, get the precise dose, and automatically log the time and amount, right? And so like, that's just health. When it comes to going to market, everything is sold off of a per pound basis. So the animal gets traded off of dollars per head on the per pound side. And so when contracts happen, each single animal is an average weight because there's so many of them and it's so complicated to weigh. What happens when you enter in precision into that market? When you can take pictures of these animals instead, having to find a scale, can you improve contract values? And so a lot of our thesis and a lot of, again, sense of justice has come down to how do we take that 37 cents and through the power of technology of improving access and management practices and move it more to 40 to 50 cents of that dollar, because they now have an opportunity to be able to take a simple photo, get the information they need to transact that animal, put it online and be able to sell their animals direct, and you as a person, individual, can go and source your rancher, source your beef directly.
I think it's very empowering to know that everybody who has an iPhone in their pocket has more technology than we use to go to the moon. It's a supercomputer. It could do a million things. So we in technology have this huge advantage, this distribution where we can say to every person in America, download the Frontiers app. You can weigh your cattle. It's so easy an 8-year-old can do it. And you will need no $30,000 scale to get to market and deliver more value.
So you can see right now this is a video that was recorded, so on just a regular old iPhone. The AI goes ahead and it detects and draws bounding boxes around the actual animal itself, and it starts calculating that weight. And then it uses things like the face, the body, the frame score of the animal, the tail, the head, every last known identifiable feature, to then start calculating that weight to be 96% accurate. And so this is the future that we see technology, and this is an elegant solution that is our models, is that this model can be ran on any camera, on any device in the world, with just a simple couple lines of code and then a little hardware device.
You're seeing a lot of these tech guys come into the ag tech space. It's an easy thing to fall in love with because they're still solving just as complex problems as they did in other tech industries, but there's a more tangible result that's happening, is you're helping someone stay in ranching, you're helping land get better, you're helping animals stay healthier.
Everything that we have and everything that we are, we only have because of 6 inches of topsoil. The land is the resource that we have. In our case, the way we see our cattle operation is we are not producers of cattle, we are producers of forage, and we use the cattle to harvest the forage. So because that is our main resource, the land is our main resource, our priority should always be taking care and maintaining the land.
We do not inherit the land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our kids. We are very aware that the land that we manage is not ours. It's what we are going to leave our kids. So we sow everything from the very bottom. We take care of the soil, we take care of the grass, we take care of the cattle. You have to have the passion to see everything as a whole, all the way from the conservation of the land to the marketing. And then finally being able to provide food for everybody that depends on us.
But being able to bridge the notion of giving somebody at least a choice to go from the store to directly to the source, I think is the only way that we can, as a community, not only help empower people with the right incentives, aka the rancher, to do the right things, be good stewards, be good proprietaries of the land, which they already are, but give them more value for that same animal and beef outcome without that middle loss.
It's an honor to carry on these traditions, and the biggest thing we can do to keep these ranches for hundreds of years beyond my lifetime is to do the same thing that the initial ancestors did. They didn't get into ranching because they knew anything about it. They saw an opportunity and they took it. The answer is not just replicating what was done in the years past. It's taking the example of the founders and the people that built the operations that I'm a part of and we are a part of, and it's how to make them better. And you can't make them better by just doing what was done yesterday. You've got to be focusing on what's better for tomorrow. The most successful next generation of ranchers and the future of American agriculture is focused on how do we make it better than the past.